You said that you would consider paying like $15 an hour
Yeah,
for.
if they're good. It's the mindset again. It's not about how much it costs. It's always like, what's the value? What do you get out of it?
My biggest challenge right now is keeping up with the amount of phone calls. Like that's something I wasn't really expecting, that type of volume. And it just kind of like the cat and mouse game, like, following up with them. A couple people have replied to the email. I would say probably, it's not a high percentage of them. So I would say out of the 87 leads, there was maybe like 6 or 7 people that maybe replied to the email. But then, then people not recognizing the phone number. And then I had a lot of multiple phone calls. And I don't think I had a text message to go out to them either. So I think that's something that if I could try to find a way to kind of automate that, I think the follow-up. So I think that the numbers could even be better if I had a really good system to kind of manage the contacts of the leads.
Great. It's normal. You're going through the motions. So, you need to have different touches. You need to text, call, email, voicemail. Each one adds like a percentage. Let's just say this is like 30%, this is like 40%, this is like 10% and 10%. Basically it boosts you up. Some 10% of the clients will come from here, 10% of the clients will come here, 20% of the clients will come from a call, et cetera, et cetera. So that means you want to basically have all those different places. And I think another reason why you've done well is because you've been taking on the calls yourself, which is good, it's fine. But now we want to take what has worked and turn into a system, which is basically turn into an SOP. What that means is now you need to start, it's a Google Doc. You need to start recording. First of all, it's like you need to record all your calls going forward. However way you can record it. If you're recording on your computer, whatever, just put on voice memo, record it, put on speaker, however way you can record it. So that's, I would say, number 1. And 2, create Google Doc of exactly the way you handle calls. And everybody needs this. Anybody who's just right now answering phone calls, this is what you need to do. Get to the next level. You need to create a system for someone else to take on these calls the same exact way that you do, so that you don't have to. So that's the stage you're at. So for the next 2 weeks, this is what you should be doing. Your goal is to create an SOP of how to exactly take on these calls. And a resource that I'll give you for anybody who wants to sign up more clients. I was at the conference. Dan Henry, who's like this top online entrepreneur guy, he released a book called High Ticket Selling, which is basically how to take on calls, how to sign up clients. And it's like a brand new book. I don't know whether it's on Amazon yet or not, but for anybody who needs to sign up clients, it's like a perfect book. Let's see if it's, yep, my Kindle looks like. Get this ASAP, start reading it. What platform do you use for recording calls? For incoming calls, the Tulio setup that we did records the calls. So that was any incoming calls that comes our way. So that's one way. Second way is if you use a phone service like RingCentral, all those other phone services, they all have call recording. So you have to kind of use those and then enable the record setting, and then it basically gives you the audio version. Record the calls, create a Google Doc or an SOP, basically. Exactly the way you handle the calls, pretty much. Like it's like the way that the book is. Literally, it has like 12 elements of these are the ways they should take on the calls. First, build a report, setting expectations, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff I think is applicable also for you to also increase your chance of you signing them up more. And then you also need, third thing is hire dedicated intake VA to follow up for you and take on calls. You're not making calls. For example, let's just say you take on calls until 5 p.m. So any calls after 5 p.m., blah, blah. It's basically your backup intaker who fills in the holes and also follows up for you. Hey, this is, calling from Lamar's law office. Just wanted to follow up with you. I know you had an initial call a couple of days ago. Wanted to see if you have any questions, etc. You have somebody who comes and sweeps all those leads that you haven't signed up yet behind you. Have you hired an intaker yet, Ivory?
No, I'm in the process of trying to find one now.
Do you know how to?
Yeah, I just put out an ad
on Upwork.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Sam, I actually put out a listing yesterday for an intake person. Do you have a set of skills or ideas have you done that before? Something we could.
It's anybody who has sales experience is most ideal and comfortable speaking on the phone.
Yeah, I seem to be getting a lot of real estate valuation for some reason.
Yeah. There's a lot of real estate appointment setter VAs for some reason too. I guess they're cold callers. I guess that set up appointments for real estate agents.
Okay.
So this is high value kind of thing. It doesn't have to need to be lower level. You could spend more, 10, 15, 20 an hour, potentially to find the better people. Because again, if you sign up one more client because of this good VA, it will pay for itself and it'll be well worth it. So don't be afraid. And it doesn't have to be from Philippines either. Philippines is just one of the options where you could hire from for an intake. Just expect that you right now you're sitting on something that has a potential for 30 clients a month easily within the next 30 days. So you want to build that capacity right now ASAP because you could quickly scale this up. Hire 2 VAs with the goal of keeping both of them. If they're both good, great, keep both. If not, usually reality is one of them will be much better. Keep that one, go hire 2 more until you continue finding the good intakers that'll be with you long term.
You said that you would consider paying like $15 an hour?
Yeah, actually, if they're good. It's the mindset again. It's not about how much it costs. It's always like, what's the value? What do you get out of it? It's that mindset. This idea came to me in different formats at the conference too. The cost really is the wrong way to look at it. If anything, it's like it holds you back. It holds most people back. It's the one concept that I think is, if you get it down, you'll be way ahead of everyone else because everyone is stuck thinking like that. So if you think the other way, then you'll have to grow much faster. So yeah, completely from now on, don't worry about the cost. Always ask yourself, flip it. What do I get out of it?
I did have a question for you. I have on another system I was using. I do think that part of the success is definitely me talking to the clients, responding myself, as opposed to like a VA. I think that the other VAs I use, I think they're good for like, getting medical records and doing that type of thing. But as far as having that sales type of demeanor, making the client feel comfortable and so forth, I'm not sure that, the ones that I have will probably be good with that. And I was wondering, what do you think about like I have another company that does like retainers where they will ask all the questions for them and then send them the retainer automatically, and we do it 24 hours a day. And then you might pay per minute type thing. What do you think about that as opposed to having like a dedicated VA?
We've tested it out, and I know this I know this firsthand coming from a mentor who works firsthand with these big law firms who have this, and it's not sustainable. So the way it's the best way to take advantage of it is kind of like either like a placeholder or supplementary to your own in-house, quote unquote in-house intake team. This is the most cost-effective, most manageable, most scalable way to have your own. And then this is kind of like fills in the holes until you have a 24/7 of your own service. But if you just depend on this itself, again, it's very costly. You can't manage it. You're not in control. You don't know how many times they're following up. You should follow up 7 times until you shut up here and no, or that the phone doesn't work. I don't know how many times they call or what they do or what they say and how they're doing it. And if you look at like all the big PR law firms, they're not depending on these per minute companies to scale up. They all have their own in-house intake team, right? You know that, right? So there's a reason why that's the case. For now, maybe you could just have it for the hours that right now you don't have a VA. Let's just say it's like one way, but ideally you go, do that. And yes, it seems like right now you're signing up the clients because it's you, but to be able to duplicate yourself from that and get somebody who's even more dedicated than you, because their entire job is just to sit on these calls. So over time, they could even actually do much better than you, just because they have the dedication to it versus you that was good for like a month or two, but long term you won't be as good as a dedicated VA.
Okay.
The other thing too is ideally, putting all of these into, instead of a Google Sheet, Google Sheet, it's fine, gets the job done, it's easy, simple. But ideally putting this into a CRM that basically has a sales pipeline that basically visually shows where everybody is. Oh, it's a lead. Oh, this person is still not, we haven't gotten in contact yet. This person we send a retainer. This person is signed up. Everybody, with clarity how many people are in each stages. And then the other benefit of this is, depending on what stage you drop them off, then specific texts or emails could be sent to them. Hey, I couldn't get in contact with you. It'll just say it's like a no call. As soon as you drop it off to like not responsive, then it's like a text the next week or two that says, hey, just want to get in contact with you. I noticed, that you or your loved one got into a car accident. This is our phone number. Reply back to this. Or send a retainer agreement. Hey, send a retainer agreement to you. Please let me know if you have any questions. Ideally, let's try to finalize this by today. Let me know if you have any questions. What program is that? The biggest one is called HubSpot. But me and Yahini, who's the one that I refer all of our Google Ads clients to, one is a good guy, he's honest and real. So I partnered up with him to create this CRM, essentially. It was already made. We're taking this and we're applying it for lawyers. I would say if you guys don't already have a system, just book a call, book a demo, get a demo of it, and then maybe we could talk about it the next time we talk to see whether it makes sense. I'm going through the motions right now, trying to set it up for myself and learn about it myself, but I'll expose that to you guys. If you have two VAs doing intakes, how do you tell them who contacts which lead? Do you normally have them take turns, work different hours? Yeah, different ways, either different hours or even odd, or distributing it different ways. Or you could also add a column called who or intaker, and basically whoever gets on it first puts their name there, and then that lead is that person's. So you need to kind of figure out that either based on hours or based on how you're going to distribute it. Read your question. We have a lot of in-depth questions that we ask after the client is signed. Do you recommend a short intake script just to get the retainer out and sign, and then either the attorney or an in-house paralegal calls again to follow up with all the in-depth questions? Yes, you always want to sign them up as quickly as possible. The shortest, simplest way to get them signed up, and then you do the full intake. And that one will not be an attorney. Basically, what you do is practically set this up is in a Google Doc, create all the questions that you want answered. And then basically you want to create a form out of that. We use job form. Use a job form. So just say we do this for employment. Employment law is like a little bit more, not black and white. There's a lot of different details we need to know. So basically we get a VA who goes and asks them these questions. And then these answers turns into a PDF that basically it's kind of like the case facts, essentially. And then the lawyer reviews that. If anything is missing, then the lawyer can go call and clarify the things, or tell the VA to go clarify these things for you. But always make sure to get them signed up first.
Lawyer Nation, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, take a moment right now to subscribe right below and turn on the bell notification to get notified every time I post a video, because right now I'm posting 5 videos a week, providing lots of value to lawyers. So click right here to subscribe, and to watch the next most relevant video, click right here. Go do it. Go watch it.